Spence versus Ugas is a really good fight. What's going on, guys? gfunkyboxing. Make sure if you're new to the channel, you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you know every time I drop a video. All right, man, look, this is not a prediction video. This is just my thoughts on this fight. I'm seeing multiple reports that this fight is going to happen sometime in the spring next year, PBC, so of course it's on pay-per-view. And look, I understand the frustration. A lot of fans disappointed that it's not Crawford fighting Earl Spence Jr. But look, man, if I was to take a substitute for that fight, it would definitely be your Denis Ugas of Cuba, the WBA super champion at 147 pounds. Look, we got a bunch of belts on the line, guys. I mean, it would be the same, obviously, if Crawford was there, but we all know that the business side of boxing has struck again. Both of these guys are PBC fighters, so of course it's easier to make this fight happen than a Crawford fight. Even though Crawford is now a quote-unquote free agent, still easier to make this fight because they're both on PBC, whether we like it or not. All right? Obviously, I don't like it, but, it is what it is. But look, I think this is a hell of a fight, man. We got two guys who are, well-seasoned fighters. Both have good amateur careers, and both are champions at 147 pounds. Now, look, I want to talk about Spence real quick. Look, Spence, he's a big welterweight, but, he's had some issues here in the last couple years. Been in an accident. He decided to drive his car while drinking, got into an accident. Could have been a lot more serious than it was. Thank God that it wasn't. And then, he comes back. He was off for over a year. He comes back, fights Danny Garcia around this time last year. And, he looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look. I had a lot of questions going into that fight, but he gets the job done there, wins that fight convincingly. And then he's scheduled to fight Manny Pacquiao this summer. Is forced to pull out due to an eye injury as I don't know if it's a detached retina or what. I forget what the official report is, but something with the retina in his eye. And he was forced to pull out. And your Denis Ugas steps in, defends his WBA super welterweight championship against Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people didn't give Ugas much of a chance. I felt Pacquiao was going to win because in a lot of these cases with Pacquiao, he gets a lot of credit for his volume punching, for his aggression, even though it's not as effective and a lot of these punches don't land a lot of the time when he's in there with a boxer like Ugas. We saw that with Juan Manuel Marquez. He gets a lot of credit from the judges for things like that. So it's kind of hard to pick against Pacquiao, to get the official pick right. And look, Ugas, made it really clear in that fight, that he won that fight convincingly, in my opinion. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like my take afterwards where I said, hey, look, if you were picking Pacquiao, and now all of a sudden you want to use the age excuse, I don't want to hear it. You picked him and he lost, period. Give Ugas credit. That's that. And look, again, with Spence, I went over some of the issues that he's had. Forced to pull out of that fight, Ugas steps in, and now, again, he's been out of the ring for over a year, right? So he's been very inactive, has another injury, had to have surgery on it. So look, there's, again, a lot of question marks about Earl Spence coming into this fight. Ugas has been very active. I know he fought during the pandemic in the bubble. And then he fights Pacquiao on pay-per-view in front of a sellout crowd in Las Vegas. So he's been fighting, man. He's staying sharp. And look, the Cubans, man, I'm telling you, a lot of you guys don't like them. But I like them, I like their style. I always have, and I always will. Okay? And to me, this is a really even matchup, in my opinion. And again, it's not a breakdown or anything like that. I'm just saying, I think these guys are going to put on a hell of a fight, man. I really do. And I'm actually excited for this one. And I'm excited to go back, look at film, and break this thing down, man. That video will be coming once this thing is made official. I'll be putting a video out, a breakdown prediction for this fight. But I really like both fighters. There's a lot of things that they do that in the ring that's very, very good. And like I said, I'll be going over that once this fight is made official and I drop that prediction video. But I want to say this in closing, man. A lot of guys I've been seeing saying things like, I'm not impressed with Ugas, don't really like his style, blah, blah, blah. Like, I honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans are just bitter that this guy beat him. That's really what it is at the end of the day. And look, I want to give some credit to my brother, Raw Boxing TV, part of the HCP crew. He said this the other night when he was live, where he said that the Cuban boxers are the most disrespected and hated in the sport of boxing. And I agree with that statement 100%, man. No matter what these guys do, fans find a way to complain. And I just don't understand how you could complain about what Ugas did in his last fight against Pacquiao. Okay, the knock a lot of the times on the Cuban fighters that they run. People say, oh, they run. I don't believe in fighters running, but, oh, they run, and they don't want to stand in front and shit like that. I didn't see Ugas running from Pacquiao. I didn't see that. I didn't see this quote-unquote running that you guys talk about. He stood right there in the pocket at mid-range with Pacquiao, which is Pacquiao's bread and butter, mid-range, and outboxed him, thoroughly outboxed him. So there's no reason to complain about what he did there. Again, it's just bitterness from the Pacquiao fans because their guy got beat convincingly, man. That's really all it is. And also, this label that's put on Cuban fighters that all they do is run from their opponents. That's all it is, man. And look, you're not going to see him run from Earl Spence. He's not going to be running from Earl Spence in this fight. I can tell you that right now. All right? So look, that's all I really got to say. I like the fight. Really looking forward to it happening. And let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope and pray that the winner of this fight goes on to fight Terrence Bud Crawford sometime late 2022. All right, but that's all I got to say for right now. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and I'm out.